It is me, Jackie T., your EVP, and it's a privilege to gather again today on this beautiful morning here at Wake Forest University as we kick off the start of our fall semester, our second What's the Buzz brief. I do want to express my heartfelt gratitude for each and every one of you and all of the gifts that you share with us every day. When we were last together, I was wrapping up my freshman year. And in summer, as you know, we have two sides, right? Many of our students, faculty, they pause for a nice 3-month break. They rest, they recharge. They maybe do some research outside of the classroom. But summer, for so many of us in this room, is a short 3-month sprint to the finish. And I know that, and I just really want to thank you for all that you do, and I'm going to tell you about some of the things that we can be very proud of, as there's never a lull in the action for us. Now that September is upon us, I, like all sophomores here at Wake, are enjoying a deeper and more nuanced understanding of Wake Forest, and as I deepen my understanding, I am really more confident in our ability to tackle the important work called for by our strategic framework, framing our future. Fundamentally, thematic goal number 1 calls for the establishment of strong, equitable learning communities to nurture undergraduate, graduate, and professional student growth. The work that we have achieved together since May further strengthens the foundation for this thematic goal. With radical collaboration, the go-live of Workday Student Financials was successful. On July 2nd, nearly 8,000 student bills, totaling more than $300 million in tuition and fees, were issued through this new system. And this achievement is particularly noteworthy, as it marked the first time students were required to use Workday Student to manage their billing and financial aid, and while their parents and their guardians also needed to learn to navigate this new platform. Despite what I would call some very minor challenges, the process was a significant success, especially given all of the changes happening at one time for so many stakeholders, both internally and externally. Would those of you who have worked on Project Wake Day please stand for recognition? All right, I know there's a lot of you. Project Wake Day. There we go. Okay, and you know me, I love to deliver good news. I will tell you, very exciting. Through culinary excellence, including outstanding nutrition and an innovative menu, we have achieved 93% dining satisfaction in our scores this year. And long gone are the days of mysterious cafeteria food. In service to the safety of our students, our faculty, and our staff that take our shuttles, our shuttle line traveled over 275,000 miles without an at-fault accident. If any of our shuttle drivers are in the audience, please stand for recognition. Are there any shuttle drivers? Do you have any shuttle drivers? Next time you see your shuttle driver, please tell him or her we are grateful for their safety, as the safety of our faculty, staff, and students is always going to be my top priority. In addition to safe driving, in keeping with our commitment to decrease congestion on our roadways and to decrease the need for finite parking on campus, in FY24, we transported over 150,000 passengers on our shuttle, which is an all-time high, and which I know gives Dee Dee and John great satisfaction and pleasure. So 150,000 passengers. Turning the page over to facilities, among the dizzying array of 75 projects our facilities colleagues managed to complete this summer, there were several historical signature projects that were completed, including the full renovation of the 1913 Lord and Burnham Greenhouse at Rinalda Gardens. As a display of radical collaboration, I would also call out the upgrade of dozens and dozens of refreshed classrooms, an initiative with information services leading the way on technology, and classroom safety improvements working alongside with the campus police and our Deacon One card office. I had the chance to tour Green Hall on the first day of classes with both the president and the provost to see the impact of these improvements. It was really powerful. It's very exciting to see how we as an FNA unit support the vibrancy of the academic experience for our students and the teaching experience for our faculty, which is why we are all here, of course. Marking 15 years of collaborative work, we published an update on our Campus Climate Action Plan. In 2026, very soon, we will be at 75% of the way to our goal of climate neutrality on campus. This milestone showcases the excellent work of our in-house energy teams and the BPI Squared initiative. And this team was recognized by the International District Energy Association and the Department of Energy for their driven engineering approach. So congratulations on this international recognition. We'll turn the page to HR as we continue to support our colleagues with the tools and resources to do their best work. This summer, we returned to offering new staff orientation, PDC workshops, and benefit office hours in person. And of course, last but not least, after over 30 years of advocacy, we cut the ribbon on our beautiful new Child Care and Early Education Center. So let's pause for a moment and enjoy some of the photos from that event. It definitely makes some of us want to have another child. We have so many things to celebrate as a group together. If you didn't see it in the news, Grayland was awarded the honors of Best Wedding Venue by the Winston-Salem Journal Reader's Choice Award. And if you've never seen a wedding at Grayland, it is really something to behold, so very special. Grayland was also went up in a rank and was awarded number 4 Best Boutique Hotel in the United States by USA Today. So. Wake Forest was ranked by Forbes as one of America's best employers for women, coming in at number 15 in education and number 1 in education in North Carolina. Looking forward to the great work ahead of us this year, a project that I'm very excited that we are launching in radical collaboration with our provost and our deans is a reimagined FY26 budget process and expanded financial reporting and analytical insight capabilities through leadership dashboards. Now, you all have known me for a year. Anyone who knows me knows I appreciate financial stability, engaged, happy, healthy staff, excellent technology, beautiful facilities and grounds, operational efficiency, and yes, a good dashboard. So thank you for that. Speaking of grounds, we'll talk about our groundwork in yet another radical collaboration with our provost and her team, and through our strategic space planning efforts, we hope to lay the groundwork for a new student center to meet the needs of current and future students. This would include a new large dining hall, so everyone can enjoy the amazing meals prepared by our dining hall colleagues. And sometimes I do wonder, as an aside, will our dining hall be still called the Pit if it's not located in the Pit? And I look to John to answer that in the future. When it comes to AI, our information services team has been very awake and planning for the current and the future. We're delighted to tell you that we have expanded access to generative AI tools like Google's Gemini Chat, Microsoft Copilot Chat, as well as AI image creation features found in Adobe Firefly, all within the bounds of institutional data protection. Now, if you don't know how to use AI, that's okay, because our colleagues in information systems plan to host several conferences on AI this year, including an employee AI conference in early December, and I will be there, as I am personally looking forward to learning more how to use those tools. And I'm sure many others of you will be there. We're preparing to launch our comprehensive master planning process. It's the first since 2009. We're going to weave together a residential housing master plan, an athletics master plan, an infrastructure master plan, together along with a holistic view of all of our portfolio of Wake Forest properties. And we're hoping, and we will achieve a plan that prepares us for decades of growth of our mother so dear. Now, one of the first things that I was asked to do when I arrived at Wake Forest was co-chair what was then called the Midtown Redevelopment Project with John Curry. So much has been accomplished in such a relatively short period, from a robust request for proposal process to this week's exciting announcements about the naming of this development, its permanent name, The Grounds. And before we invite up representatives from Carter and Front Street, our very own alumni, we are going to share an exciting look at what's to come. They will share. I'm just going to close out with an idea that I hope you all will take into your day today. Professionalism, optimist, is a job. Simon Sinek says, the joy of leadership comes from seeing others achieve more than they thought they were capable of. Each day, we strive to achieve more than what even we think we are capable of. Together, we are making great things happen. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for everything that you do. There are exciting things ahead, and perhaps one of the most exciting is the grounds, and I look forward to you all hearing all about it in a minute. I think Dee Dee's going to come up next.
Thank you, Jackie, for those inspirational words this morning. And I have the pleasure of introducing, as Jackie said, two Wake Forest alumni. We have with us this morning Parker and Coleman team. It is really challenging for me not to make you both like one person with interchangeable names, from Winston-Salem's Front Street Capital and Atlanta firm Carter. And they're going to share with us a couple of details about the project this morning. For those of you who are with us this morning from Information Systems, Human Resources, and Finance, keep an eye out this morning for a new office building that you're going to see on the site plan. That's the future home of those units, joined by legal, advancement, and our communications and marketing team. So without further ado, I would like to invite these colleagues up to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adam. This is Coleman. We regularly get mixed up. We're often together. Our wives joke that we spend more time with each other than we do with our spouses. I fully expect none of you to be looking at me right now, and rather to be looking over my shoulder, because this is a project that has been talked about for decades. Dee Dee and Dr. Travisano mentioned that, yes, we're both alums. But really, for this project, more importantly, Coleman and I are both kids from the Triad. Coleman grew up just down the road in Lexington, and I grew up just down the road on Renolda Road in Winston-Salem. And we both have memories of coming to Wake sporting events and eating at Pig Pickens or Cactus Jack's. Folks probably remember Hero House. You may even remember Samplers. There were places to go, not only before and after games, but when there were no games, when the fair wasn't going on. This was a part of town that folks would spend time in year-round. And that is the goal of what we're looking to do with the grounds. The biggest catalyst for this project, having grown up in this area, has been the leadership of the university at this time. It takes bold direction from Dr. Wente, Dr. Travisano, and John Curry, who really have spearheaded this effort. And then Coleman and myself have gotten the pleasure of working with many, many departments at the university as we've started planning this project. So just by a quick show of hands, I'd love to know who's planning on working in the new office building, who's scheduled to go into the new office building. Okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead and I'm gonna point right to it so you know which one's the office building. Can you go back to the prior slide? I'm sorry. Back right, in front of the stadium, the tallest building along Deacon Boulevard. So what you're looking at now to help orient yourself from a bird's eye view, and then Coleman will walk through the specifics of the site plan and the 4 components in the first phase. The best way to describe it is you're kind of like hanging out over putters right now, and you're looking down what is the current Deacon Boulevard. There's been a lot of great momentum on the project. We've received state funding to go towards infrastructure work. You'll notice that Deacon Boulevard is no longer a 4-lane road, but it rather curves. You'll be able to see this better on the site plan. And what you're looking at now is the heart of the project. It's gonna be a 40,000 square foot retail village that we're envisioning being hyper-local businesses. This is not gonna be Chili's or Applebee's, which I do love, but this will be more Winston-Salem businesses. And again, our really primary goal of all of this is to make this a year-round destination that, yeah, you can go to before a sporting event or before the fair or before a concert, but also this is a place that you'll go to on a rainy night in July when there are no events or no sporting events going on in the area. So again, my name is Adam Parker. I'm based in Atlanta with Carter. We have been working with the university for a year and a half after the full proposal, and we partnered with local development firm Front Street Capital. And my colleague Coleman team is now going to walk you through the site plan and all the components in the first phase.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Coleman team with Front Street Capital. It only took me 20 years of being associated with Wake Forest to be invited to stand on Brendel Recital Hall stage. Everybody in this room is really the backbone of the university, so we are really appreciative of the opportunity to speak to you all today about something that really was born with Jackie over 2 years ago and with Adam and I really over the last 18 months. So we're going to talk in a very short amount of time about something that has been worked on for quite some time. We're very excited to roll it out to everybody this week. So we would like to point you after this to visitthegrounds.com. There's a lot of unique social media stuff where you can learn more about the project so you feel empowered to answer questions as you're in the community or with students or anybody around campus. So what you'll see on the next slide is a master plan that we've been working on, again, for a very long time. Our master planners are a group based in Atlanta called Nelson. Nelson is honestly probably the most recognized master planning architect in the country, particularly around sports-adjacent properties. As many of you know, this is about 100 acres of largely empty parking lots. And as Adam mentioned, the goal here from the beginning is to not create a Wake Forest project, but really a Winston-Salem project, with Wake Forest being an absolute critical stakeholder to that. Planning 100 acres of property is a obvious daunting task, so really we're trying to start from the inside out. We're really creating the beachfront, essentially, of this project. So what Adam showed you is the heart where that retail village is, shown in red, the office building being the far bottom right box of that red village. The second project is the residential project just over the creek. One thing to point out is the city of Winston-Salem and Wake Forest received a $35 million grant from the state of North Carolina. So this is one of the truest public-private partnerships that we've been a part of in Winston-Salem. That $35 million is going to fund really all the infrastructure. When you do a project at this scale, the setup is really imperative to be able to build the foundation for what is to come down the road. So that $35 million is going to move roads, it is going to increase access to the property, and then most importantly, the heart of this project is really going to be a community amenity that manifests itself in the redevelopment and beautification of Silas Creek. Silas Creek is the creek that runs underneath a Legacy Stadium and goes through the middle of those trees in the parking lots and then goes underneath University Parkway. So that is where you see there. So that will be a beautified stream that will have a greenway system, walking trails, community park space, and then most importantly for you all, it will connect directly over University in a new safe and convenient pedestrian crosswalk to a new Wake Forest walking trail that will connect straight to the heart of campus. The $35 million in infrastructure is what is being done first. So by the time this retail village opens, the office building opens, there's students and people out here that are engaging, the community's experiencing this. There will also be that connection to campus that we're really excited about. So it'll be a multi-use path. You can walk, you can bike, you can scooter, and we're really excited about that direct connection to the university. So this is the master plan. This is phase 1. Again, after the success of phase 1, we will be going into phase 2 and 3. There will be a diversity of uses, a diversity of options. We're really excited to see where this project goes. So we've got a lot of runway ahead of us. The groundbreaking is at the end of this year. We'll be breaking ground on all the infrastructure into the spring, and Q2 will be the groundbreaking of the office and the retail village, intended to be delivered towards the end of the summer of 2026, with the multifamily project being delivered summer of 2027. The last thing I'll close with is this is a project that is really the brainchild, as Adam mentioned, and the vision of the leadership of Wake Forest. Without Jackie and John Curry, this project, quite honestly, does not happen. Without Susan Wente, this project does not happen. The leadership on the front row here has been really phenomenal for us to watch a university spring into action and coalesce around a project of this magnitude. We are fortunate as alums to continue to work with Wake Forest, and we're excited to see where this project goes. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for sending them off with a hand. They had to get back to work, so we excused them out the side door there. I hope you're really excited about that project. I know I am. So we haven't seen each other for a minute since May, and we've got some new colleagues in the room. If you have been hired to work at Wake Forest or have returned to Wake Forest since May, will you please stand so we can welcome you? We promise to throw parties like this all the time for you. And I saw one new colleague stand up who I would like to invite up, Mary Lucal, in a gorgeous tomato red jacket. Do you want to grab a mic? So for those of you who are with us in May, you know that all of our colleagues sat up here and you got to know a little bit more about them. You got to know a little bit more about their likes and their dislikes. Here are a couple of Mary's likes and dislikes for you. And folks answered some questions, not too embarrassing, I promise. So Mary, so we can get to know a little bit more about you. What's your favorite way to start the workday?
I'm a huge reader. I spend at least 30 to 45 minutes every morning at the kitchen table with my dark roast, reading work stuff, magazines, books, whatever is on the table, the back of the cereal box. Any other readers in the audience that do this? Yeah, great way to start the day.
Excellent, I love it. So are there any books you can't put down or series that you're binging right now?
I'm always binging at least one nonfiction and one fiction, but huge British mystery reader, so anything in that area is likely to be sitting on the table.
Excellent, I love it. Hopefully you can make a little list for us, maybe a
I'd be
blog
happy-
or something.
happy to.
That would be great. So last time we got to ask all of our colleagues, is there any misperception about your area that you would like to shine some light on this morning? What would you like us to know about human resources?
I would love to do that, thank you. So I've been in human resources over 25 years now, which is a sobering realization for me, but going back, so about, say, 40 or 50 years, Dee Dee, HR used to be called personnel. I still hear people call it that once in a while, but personnel used to be the place where people would go they kind of really liked people. They were people persons, but they weren't particularly trained in HR. And fast forward about 50 years, we now have academic programs all the way through PhD in human resources. We have national, state, local professional organizations. We have codes of ethics. We've got certificates and certifications, and it's a whole different scene as a profession. And the HR team that you have led and know very well personifies this evolution really, really well, because they are highly qualified, highly professional, extremely helpful group of people. Now, don't get me wrong, we like a good Dilbert cartoon as much as the next guy, don't we, HR? But I think it's just important to know sort of some of those stereotypes about HR really couldn't be further from the truth, and that is especially the case with your HR teams. So I'd like to give the HR team a hand if I can do that.
So thanks for letting us put you on the spot for just a moment this morning. We appreciate that. I hope you have all enjoyed getting to know our new colleague, Mary Lucal. All right, so we enjoyed getting to know our colleagues last time in a panel. We're going to invite some other colleagues up this time for a panel, a segment that we're calling, Wait, What's Your Job? Come on up, friends. Have a seat, and at any of the seats, and I will invite us to take a look at who is joining us this morning. They're not necessarily in order up here, but I am going to start with Julie Groves because she's closest to me and she's at the top of the list. And we've got a little feedback. Okay, great. So these are folks whose jobs may be unknown to you or may be known to you. Each one of them is absolutely essential to the mission of Wake Forest University. Julie, I'm going to start with you. Why is your work essential to Wake Forest?
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Julie Groves, and my job is as the Director of Risk Services here at Wake Forest. And some people would say that my job is a necessary evil because I am the person who makes sure that we have insurance on all the university's assets, and also I make sure we have insurance on all the things the university does. So hopefully you don't ever have to really talk to me. But if you do, it's okay. I would just like to say a couple of shout outs. I will say that part of what makes my job so easy is that all of you do such a great job with your job. I mean, I really want to give a shout out to the folks in facilities. Every time the insurance companies are here, they're just amazed at what a great job we do maintaining our campus. And the folks in IS, I also want to give a shout out to you because, you know, computer systems are a really big deal in the insurance world, and we always get really high marks from our carriers on that. So my job is made much easier because of the fact that you all do your job so well.
Thank you for leading with that generosity, Julie. We appreciate you. I'm going to go to the other end, Kathleen. Kathleen is here. She is, as you can see, the coordinator of House Experience at Grayland. So what does that mean, Kathleen? Tell us a little bit more.
I always tell people it means whatever you need me to do, I'm here. Because I'm not sure myself. I can be a shuttle driver, I can be a concierge, I can pull together a birthday gift for someone on the last minute, and I get to do it with all my Grayland colleagues. We basically host the university's most important guests, and so that's why we're essential. I wanted to work that in too.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you, Kathleen. Next, coming back over to the very lovely Brittany Peoples. So Brittany, you're the absence and well-being manager. I know you for your kindness and compassion. How might others in the audience get to interact with you?
Thank you.
You're good. It's on.
So thank you, Dee Dee. It's truly a privilege to be able to work with our campus colleagues and help them navigate through some of the most difficult times and also the most joyous times that they're dealing with. The way that they can reach out to us is by emailing absence@wfu.edu, or they can call us on the HR line at 4700 option 3.
Excellent. And what kind of life experiences might be going on for them to reach out to you?
So if you're having a baby, if you're having a medical illness or an urgent situation, you can reach out to us. If you're having to deal with some type of medical accommodation where you need a workplace modification, you can reach out to us for those types of issues as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Krista, you work on campus-engaged learning. What does that mean?
So first of all, if I'm doing it correctly, it's fun,
Yes.
and it's effective, and it's learning opportunities that get students outside of the traditional classroom setting. and they often take place around campus at cool sustainability learning spaces. And it can be tours or activities or semester-long projects. And this can be like, we have Campus Garden, we have Tohi Garden. There are amazing spaces on Renolda. And one of my favorites is the University Operations Center. It's the heating plant, and in partnership with our partners in facilities and campus services, specifically Jimmy and Doug. I know I saw you. Can you wave? Yes, there they are. They give great cool tours of the boilers. They get to go down and see the steam tunnels and share all the amazing work that they do to help decrease our carbon emissions. So that's just a little taste of what I get to do to take the students out there and learn really important work that's going on and what they can do as a future leader.
Excellent. Thank you, Krista. I'm going to come over to Paul on the other side. Makerspace. That is your space. Who can use it, and what can they make there?
Well, thank you very much, Dee Dee. I am Paul Whitener, as Dee Dee said, and I'm that guy at the Waker Space that yells, "Welcome to Waker Space," when you walk in. It's kind of like going to Moe's, but you don't get a burrito, you get a whole lot more. So we are actually located right in parking lot Q. And if you like to do things with your hands, you can come in and use 3D printers, laser cutters. We have sewing machines, embroidery machines. We have lots of arts and crafts. And the great news is we are open to all faculty, staff, and students here at Wake Forest, and it is part of your benefits. Most everything you do is free, and free is like free beer. There's always a catch, right? And what's that catch is if you're making 1,000 of something, we might ask you to buy some material, but we're here to help you learn to do all kinds of things you've never done before.
Excellent. It is so fun. I can attest to that. And last but not least, Matt Adams. We put him last because he actually has a show and tell. Matt, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, yeah, Matt Adams, Athletic Field Maintenance Assistant Manager. And we, of course, take care of all the athletic fields here on campus. And we got a recent addition last year, and this is Frank over here, Frank the Tank. It's Turf Tank is the name of the company, and it's a great addition to our team. Everybody on our team can use it except for Dean. He chose not to. But too complicated, right, Dean? But we can paint a field now with one person, whereas before it took 3 people pulling strings and different things. So it's a great addition, and it can paint a soccer field in about 35 minutes.
Oh, fantastic. So we actually have a really cool 10-minute video of Frank the Tank in action, and we're going to post it so you can see it after this event. Thanks, Matt, for bringing Frank so we could meet him this morning. Before we wrap this morning, just popcorn style, anybody who'd like to answer anything about something that is truly unique or extraordinary that has happened while you've been on the job, or just something you love about your job?
I just love being part of, sports. I'm a big sports nut, and I love sports altogether. And most of you don't know, I was a golf course superintendent for 20 years, and I got burnt out, and I've always loved, like I said, sports. And this opportunity came, and it's not looked back. And I just love being part of Wake Forest and the ACC.
Awesome.
I'll just say that I really enjoy working with all of my campus colleagues and building those relationships across the campus. I don't get to see a lot of people on campus all the time, but building those relationships are really important to me, and getting to help them through navigate life's challenges sometimes. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Dee Dee, I just want you to know I work at the happiest place on earth.
Yes, you do.
Everybody thinks it's Disney. It's not. It's the Waker Space. And I look forward to having everybody come in and learn to do all kinds of things with us.
Excellent. Thank you.
I have to say, where I work is open 24/7. It's not just me, a whole team at Grayland, and I love that we never close, literally. You'll never see our front gates closed. And I get to study the history of a remarkable place, to bring some of the families that made Wake possible here in Winston-Salem, to bring them to life. And we have a steam tunnel too.
Not to be outdone.
I'll say one of my favorite parts of this job is I get to work with faculty of all disciplines, and it's really awesome to hear the amazing work that they do and their backgrounds and the research, and then watch them in action, the way that they lead classes. And selfishly, I get to be somewhere different almost every day and work with students that are going to be our future leaders, and it's just really fun.
I think you have a funny story. Do you have a crazy story about something that happened recently?
Sure. So last week, we were out at the campus garden with the class, and one of the students found this little turtle just sitting there, and there wasn't water nearby. So we're like, how did this turtle get here? And we think a bird dropped it, but so I took the turtle and I rushed it across campus to go to another learning space, the Towhee Garden, that has a stormwater pond. And so I was sitting him on the banks, and I was like, you know what, this turtle needs a photo shoot. So I get my phone out, I'm like taking little pictures, and then the next thing you know, you can probably see where this is going, I drop my phone into the water. And so on my walk back, I'm like, truly, no good deed goes unpunished, huh?
Yeah. But she did get a great photo of the turtle.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Excellent. I have enjoyed getting to hear from all of you this morning. Julie?
Can I share?
Yes, I would love you
I
to.
want to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
I will say that the thing that I love most about my job is that I graduated from Wake, and so I'm an alum, and I'm very proud of the university, and so I'm very happy that what I do can help, make sure that our campus is safe for everyone. I would like to ask a favor. I am actually a really nice person, so if I call you, I've had people say, oh, I hate it when you call. That's how they answer the phone. Oh, I hate it when you call. Or I've had people call me the thief of fun and joy.
No.
I really am not. I really am not. So I assure you, I'm just trying to do my job. So if I do call you, just don't act immediately like you hate me. Just wait until you hear what I'm calling for before you start not being nice to me.
It has been a lot of fun getting to know a little bit more about all of you this morning, and thank you for your time. All right. Jackie spoke earlier about the important foundational work that all of you do in support of the university's strategic framework. And for many of you, that means interacting with students and families in really unique ways. So I would really just like to pause for a moment and say, yeah, we're 3 weeks away from move-in, and we're about to move into homecoming. It's kind of a crazy schedule this year, and we haven't really had a chance to just pause and celebrate. So I do want to take a minute to celebrate our colleagues in facilities and campus services this morning, who not only prepares the campus beautifully, immaculately, and lovingly for the return of our students in the fall, but they also actually move the students in. And many of you come to help with that, even if you're not in facilities and campus services. But I just want to give a shout out to them, and for you to get to see the kindness and smiles that they pour into this day. And as you might know, because some of you collaborate with us, our sustainability team is also involved in most, if not all, of the orientation events that happen here on campus. In addition to greeting over 1,400 students during both early and regular move-in and giving them their own personal recycling tote, the team hosted a total of 270 students across 6 pre-orientation programs and 30 new students and family members in a new Stroll in the Forest initiative. Over 55 students joined us in the campus garden for our annual Dig In at the campus garden event, and over 100 students came to our annual intern-hosted engagement, Let's Talk About Sustainability. And yes, it is a taco party. We interacted with over 450 new students at the Fall Involvement Fair, and the first 400 snapped up a plant to nurture. Altogether, we met with members of the incoming class over 3,000 times during orientation, which means we interacted with many of them twice and some of them 3 times. I want to give a big shout out this morning to Brian Cohen, who orchestrates all of these engagements that welcome students and their families to the forest. And where's my Vanna? Because it is raffle time. Here she comes. She's even spotlit as she comes down the stairs. Don't trip, friend. All right. So we've got a variety of raffle prizes this morning. Thank you to everybody who helped us collect those. And we're going to reach in, so get your, everyone's pulling their phones out to see. Can we get a little bit of house lights? Or some, yep, some, there we go. Okay. You're ready for the first, which is a WFU swag bag. Who has, and we're going to invite you to just come on up, 1123277. 1123277. All right, and next we have a Village Tavern gift card for $50. Get out your tickets, 1123367. Okay, the next, that was a Village Tavern gift card. And next, looking really great, is a local favorites gift basket, and that is going to go to 1123385. Down. Okay. The next is a set of 4 tickets to the upcoming Wake Forest football game. 11, 23, 36, 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 6. Everybody, all right. Tickets to the game. Come on down. Excellent. Okay, next is the first of 2 $100 food dollar cards for Deacon Dining. The first one is going to go to 1347610. All right. You don't have to share. You can have it all yourself. All right, and the second $100 food dollar card. I'm getting ahead of Elizabeth here. The second is 1347512. All right. And so you can get your Deacon on. The last one is a $100 gift card to the Deacon shop. All right. It is. I'm promising things I can't make happen. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a $50 gift card. That is mine. It's still cool. You can still get something good. All right. 1123299. Anybody? We clapped, but nobody stood up. 1123299. Oh, Julie Groves. She has earned some respect, hasn't she? I love it. All right. Even though they couldn't stay, I hope you will thank me and join me in thanking in spirit our guests from Carter and Front Street. I hope you enjoyed getting to know more about that project this morning. To our colleagues who shared their fun and interesting stories about their work, and to everyone who had a hand in making this morning's event a success, from food to prizes. If you like the food, thank Darlene, because she's the master of order there. To our fearless leader, Jackie T. And to everyone here for everything you do every day. Go out and make it a great day.